The size of a football field is about 100 meters long and 60 meters wide, but in official matches, there are rules about minimum and maximum dimensions. Welcome to the Football Avid Media channel. In this video, we shall take you on a tour of historical overview of number 1, the football field and its dimensions, and number 2, the football formations and systems. In the world of football, the most official dimensions are those defined by FIFA International Football Federation. According to FIFA specifications, a football field must have certain minimum and maximum dimensions. The length sideline must be a minimum of 90 meters, 100 yards, and a maximum of 120 meters, 130 yards. The width goal line must be a minimum of 45 meters, 50 yards, and a maximum of 90 meters, 100 yards. For international matches, the rules are a little stricter. The length must be a minimum of 100 meters and a maximum of 110 meters. The width must be a minimum of 64 meters and a maximum of 75 meters. In the 18th century, fields could be up to 100 meters wide and 200 meters long. Boundaries were marked only by flags until 1882, when boundary lines were enforced. Along with a center line, the center circle became standard 5 years later on the turf. The Hall of Doors. The goal area is the small box inside the penalty area. FIFA rules establish that the distance between each goal post and the lines parallel to the touch line must be 5.5 meters. If the size of a standard door is added, the distance between rows is 18.32 meters. Goal area with dimensions in meters. The penalty area. The penalty area is the largest box near the goal that incorporates the goal area and penalty spot. It was introduced in 1887 and a D-shaped curve was added in 1937. The lines extending to the fields are 16.5 meters long and are spaced 40.32 meters apart. The penalty spot is 11 meters from the goal line and centered on the goal line of the field of play. Examples: a very common pitch size among the world's top clubs is 105.68 meters, 114.874.4 yards, as recommended by UEFA. Some famous stadiums and the size of their football fields: Wembley, 105.68 meters, Old Trafford, 105.68 meters, Camp Nou, 105.68 meters, Emirates Stadium, 105.68 meters, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 105.68 meters, Allianz Arena, 105.68 meters, San Siro, 105.68 meters, Maracanã, 105.68 meters, Stamford Bridge, 103.67 meters, Anfield, 101.68 yards. As per UEFA guidelines, there must be an additional 1 to 3 meters beyond the sidelines for advertising boards. Talking about the football or soccer field grass length. The typical length of grass in a playground is 25 to 30 millimeters. The grass is often cut back and forth, each to a different length, leaving visible streaks in the grass. This helps assistant referees to spot offsides easier by giving vertical references. Talking about the types of grass. Depending on the climate, different grasses are needed. In colder regions, grass species such as ryegrass, panicle, and tall fescue are used. In warmer regions, species such as Bermuda grass, zoysia species, and seaside paspalum are used. Talking about the football or soccer field drainage, UEFA guidelines include drainage considerations. To prevent the playground from filling up with water during heavy rains, there should be a sand-dominated root zone under the playground turf. Below this sand-dominated root zone is a basement drained by pipes. The goalpost. In 1882, goalposts had no crossbar and goals could be allowed if the ball was thrown several meters into the air between the posts. A while before the introduction of the beam, A tape about 2.5 meters above the ground was used as a height marker. The net will be introduced in England 10 years later. In the early 20th century, round and oval posts were introduced in place of the previous square variants. As we prox to the number 2 the football formations and systems, please kindly click the like and subscribe button and click the bell icon below to get notification whenever we drop football educational video. Thanks. The heart of football tactics is team formation. In football, also known as soccer, formations are categorized into names consisting of numbers which represent defenders, midfielders, and forwards or attackers. The goalkeeper is not required to get involved in this tactical aspect. We are taking you on a tour of a historical overview of the most commonly used formations in football. Formations are simplified ways to schematically describe a team's positional tactics. As Jonathan Wilson writes in Inverting the Pyramid, formation designations can sometimes seem a bit arbitrary. How far from the main striker should the second striker play in 4-4-2 to become 4-4-1-1, and how advanced do midfielders need to become a 4-2-3-1? You would probably never guess the existence of this formation in serious circumstances. It was a long time ago formation, more precisely in the 19th century, in the era of pre-modern football. Using just one defender and midfielder and putting the rest in front seems exciting today, but games looked different right now, with few side passes and instead full attack with lots of dribbling. The reason for so much dribbling was not only because those days football lacked sophistication, but much more because the offside rule was completely different from what it is today. Until 1925, the rules prescribed the player could not be in front of the ball, in some ways more similar to ice hockey than modern football, and therefore had to dribble forward. Another starting formation related to the dribbling game was 2-1-7. Among other teams associated with the Old Etonians. 2-3-5. In the 1890s, the 2-3-5 the pyramid became popular as a more balanced tactical formation. It will become standard for a long time and will be used by all British teams. The transition from 1-1-8 to 2-3-5 didn't happen overnight, however. Other formations such as 2-2-6 and 1-2-7 were practiced in the middle. With the popularization of the setup, a standardization followed with numbers linked to the position on the field. The introduction of the offside rule in 1925 began the development of another formation more suited to offside. WM. One of the first side steps of the well-established 2-3-5 was the WM. The attacking cluster is W-shaped and the defensive cluster is M-shaped, or 3-2-2-3. The innovator was the great football theorist Herbert Chapman when he was the manager of Arsenal in the early 1930s. It was a formation used by many teams in the 1950 World Cup, but not by the winning team from Uruguay. 3-2-5. After the offside rule change in 1925, attacking and defending strategies transformed, and as a result, new systems of play emerged. Changing the offside rule would benefit the attacking team, so a third halfback was more often considered. Another formation used in this period was the 3-4-3, but it was obvious that it always put emphasis on attack. In front of the 3 defenders and 2 midfielders was a 5-man attack. The attack was organized with a center forward flanked by double wings on either side. Among the most successful teams with this formation was Arsenal. Formation 2-3-2-3. Instead of the usual defender-midfielder-attacker configuration, the so-called method system has led to a 4-unit formation. This formation was used by Italy and helped the team win the 1934 and 1938 World Cups. Formation 4-2-4. This formation was a product of Brazil. It was tested for the first time in the Brazilian Championship and then during the 1958 World Cup, won by Brazil. It should be mentioned that the 4-2-4 was not a Brazilian novelty, but the Brazilians had more success with it. They would use it again in the 1970 World Cup with supreme results. Formation 4-3-3. This modern way of organizing the team was introduced by England in the 1966 World Cup as an alternative to 4-1-3-2. It was the first formation without wings. Formation 5-4-1. This five-man formation was developed by renowned tour coach Helenio Herrera. The 5-4-1 system was focused on defense, but also allowed for counterattacks. Italian clubs and the Italian national team enjoyed success with 5-4-1, including World Cup silver medal wins. Formation 3-5-2. Unlike the 4-4-2 formation, the 3-5-2 would put more emphasis on individual skills. West Germany won the World Cup in 1990 practicing this formation, and it is often used in football today. It is unclear when it was first used. Some say it materialized when Miroslav Blažević coached Dinamo Zagreb in the mid-1950s. Player positions can be arranged in different ways. An alternative is to place an attacking midfielder behind the forwards, as the image above suggests. Formation 4-2-3-1. The 4-2-3-1 formation is a modification of the 4-4-2 and was first widely used in top-flight football during the 2010 World Cup. In front of the four defenders and behind the striker solitary are two defensive midfielders and three attacking midfielders. This formation is used by many elite football clubs and is, for example, the most used system in the Spanish La Liga. Be aware that no tactical formation is the best. No training is ideal in all situations. Which is better depends on different circumstances. The formation must, for example, be based on the opponent and the players that the coach has at his disposal. This formation image is to inform you of the full meaning of each abbreviated position in every football formation we explained to you in this video. GK means goalkeeper, CB means center back, LB means left back, RB means right back, DM means defensive midfielder, CM means central midfielder, and means attacking midfielder. LW means left winger, RW means right winger, CF means center forward. However, there are still other names that some of these mentioned positions are called in the world of football today. We shall discuss the full details of each football position and their work in the football match. Please check out our next video titled Football Positions, Meaning and Work. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please kindly click the like and subscribe button and click the bell icon below to get notification whenever we drop football educational video.